Hey everybody, thanks again for joining us this week at KonKon's Cantina. First and foremost, thank you very much for your continued support. Of course, some basic housekeeping. This week we are talking about Episode 4, Season 7 of Clone Wars. However, moving forward, we will be covering 2 episodes at a time, so we will be skipping a week at a time for Clone Wars. Please be sure that if you enjoy this podcast, leave us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on all social media, including Facebook, of which we have a private Facebook group, and Instagram. Also, check out our YouTube. One of our friends and listeners, Niles, was gracious enough to spend some time with us and make some drink-making tutorial videos. So you can go on the YouTube, we're going to be putting those up soon, and learn how to make cocktails that you would usually get on your nights out. So stay at home, invite your friends, and don't go break the bank. If you would like to work with us and this podcast, please email us at konkon'scantina@gmail.com. And without further ado, here is Episode 4, Season 7 of Clone Wars.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. Grab a drink, sit back, and relax.
We back. Sorry, Justin.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
This is a previously recorded. We back.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I was like, dude, send me like a voice thing. I was like, you gotta do it. Anyway, listen,
That was golden.
we're here. Okay, I'm your boy. It's KonKon. Sitting across from me, a returning guest, the Renaissance man himself.
Hello there.
Oh,
This is
listen.
Roberto Carmona 1
Dang,
at Instagram.
you stole Justin's thing, and then he just stole your thing.
I know. It's fine.
It
I'm
is
gonna
what it
say
is.
it. I'm gonna say both. We back. Hello there.
There you
Russell
go.
I
Allen.
do the hello there better. That would be
You know.
honest.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Hello there.
And of course, Russell, the tallest man in the room.
Usually.
We
Yes. It's glad to be back.
a Cantina podcast. So we're gonna go into the Cantina right now.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
This week, drinking something from the Tavor stash again. It's super heavy. Not like a huge fan. It has its place, but right now when it's like it's getting hot again here in Florida, like what was today? Today was like
87.
it was hot.
The
It was
87
hot.
It was
87,
really
yeah.
hot today.
Too hot.
Yeah, too hot. Anyway, I am drinking Island Diaries. It's a Belgian quad. It is 13.4%, so it's up there. It pours super dark, like almost like syrup. I mean, it's black. It's dark. You know, I'd still recommend it. It's just there's a time and a place for, you know, Belgian quad like this. Right now is not that time, but it's still good. It's by Drake's Brewing Co., and they're from California, and I'd recommend them.
Nice.
But
nice.
yeah, that's what I'm drinking.
So I'm looking at a menu right now from Oga's Cantina in Galaxy's Edge. Batu West. Right? No.
No, we're Batu East, bro.
Batu East, man.
You good, bro?
This coronavirus has got me all
Yeah,
whoopy.
got you all worked up.
In honor of coronavirus, Disney
honor,
World
okay.
announced last night Disney World is closing, gentlemen,
tears,
for
tears.
2 weeks. Now, I know many people in my life, in my family, that did not take this whole thing seriously until Disney World closed.
Isn't that like the
absolutely.
standard that all Floridians set by?
Oh, yeah.
Even companies.
Yeah.
They follow what Disney did.
Like, uh-oh, Disney's closing. This means something.
My brother was like, Lord Disney has spoken.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm drinking right now the Bespin Fizz. It's a with Bacardi Superior rum with yuzu puree, pomegranate juice with white cranberry juice with a cloud swirl, and it's actually really cool because they give it to you and there's a little bit of dry ice on the bottom so it fizzes up. You know,
And
I've
you
always
bring
wanted
that in?
I've always wanted one of those drinks that fizzes, like it actually smokes in your hand.
We need to make some more of those. We can get dry ice at Publix.
Yeah, well, you can't get toilet paper.
Nope.
Anyway, I'm not really drinking Best and Fizz, but it is really good. In fact, a lot of these drinks are good. I mean, I know Connor's not a big fan of them, but they're a little bit sweet and kind of taste a little bit too fruity for a lot of people's tastes.
It's not that I don't like the drinks, I feel they are overpriced to not have a bartender actually make the drink.
Oh yeah, totally.
They should not be that expensive when they are literally pre-made.
And
Like,
don't go down that road with the bartender story.
oh man, I got to tell that story. I'm
that's
pretty sure I
interesting.
told that story.
Weird.
I think
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
heard it
man,
in the
gosh.
last
Episode
Yeah.
5.
I still hate that guy.
Episode 6.
I still hate that
I
guy.
I hate him for you.
I hate that guy. He ruined your Galaxy's Edge experience.
Oh man. I mean,
Anyway.
I went back the next day, but
You were straight up like Anakin, just angry.
it was bad. Roberto,
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I am drinking, no lie, Corona. And
bad taste, but okay.
You're also
yeah, I mean, well, I
you're
have
also
a story
drinking some
behind it.
Scotch,
I am
bro.
drinking some Scotch, but for the beer sake, Corona. It was in my fridge. I wasn't planning on going to the crazy stores out there. These
Yeah.
people are just acting really wild over toilet paper.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
insane.
just don't want to get trampled like the Lion King.
Now, Russell, besides the Oga's Cantina stuff, we can definitely talk about that some more another time. But you are drinking something that is actually special.
It is. I just popped it open. It's from the GOT Scotch set. It's the House Stark. And it is the Dalhousie Winter's Frost.
So smooth.
It's sad because I remember when Connor and I won this Instagram contest, we were so excited. And and now you can get it like anywhere. In fact, Total Wine Online has it for like $39.99 right now. House Stark, which is
One of the better ones,
One
yeah.
of the best ones.
I still think that one's unopened for me. I haven't opened that one.
So the last one that's unopened for me is Targaryen. I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess,
but we had that at my house before. Yeah.
well, this is the one that we haven't tried.
I think Targaryen's one of my favorite.
Yeah. So this is really good. It's again, Dalhousie Winter's Frost. It's true to its name. Obviously, it's House Stark, so it takes place in the north, all the snow and stuff. It's got a nice honey figged flavor. It's it's very delicious with kind of a sweet fruitcake taste profile. It's actually aged in ex-bourbon casks. It's a very light gold color. And it's one of my favorite scotches I think that I've had. If I have to do the Mando scale, I would probably say 7 out of 10 Mandos.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm
That-
drinking that too.
It's up there for me because I'm not like the biggest Scotch guy, but the peatiness is like just right on that one. Yeah, it's not like crazy over the top, and it doesn't like kill anything on the back end. But what was the percentage on that? 'Cause we can't clean with that. It's not going to kill Corona.
No, it's not going
No.
to kill Corona. It's
Okay.
below 60%.
I think it's like 45 alcohol ABV on that one, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on here. But it's
good, though.
It doesn't burn too much. Like
Yeah.
I said, it's mostly sweet.
Yeah, it is.
So
it's good for sure.
Definitely a 7 out of 10 from me. What do you guys think? You said 7 out of 10?
Yeah, I completely agree with your rating.
Yeah, I'd say 7 for sure.
What about your drink?
This island, this Belgian quad. I like Belgian quads. They tend to be sweeter because they're so high on the alcohol content. This one is really sweet, and my rating would probably change when I was drinking this. I don't know, in a better sitting. I like to drink Belgian quads when I only want to drink Belgian quads. I don't like to drink them and then drink other things. And you can only have a couple of them. I mean, it's 13%.
Yeah,
You have 2 or 3 of those and you haven't had anything to drink or eat, I don't care who you are, you're going to feel a little bit of something for sure. 6 out of 10.
okay. That's fair.
The price was good though. I believe I only paid $6.99
Where
for
did you get it?
I got Tavor. Tavor is a beer service that I do. They have like a beer of the day,
Oh, nice.
and you get like a 6-week period where you can fill your cart with whatever beer they have up there for the day. And then depending on, it doesn't matter how much beer you have at the end, you pay a flat fee for shipping no matter how much. So
I'll have to look that
Tavor,
up.
give
Nice
me free
plug, by the
shipping.
way.
Yes.
Hey, come on. I'm putting your kids through college over here, The agenda of this episode, listen, you already know. We are not experts, but we're just going to tell you our experience because everybody's talking about it. We're going to talk a little bit about...
We're talking about Roberto's Corona.
Don't worry,
Roberto.
extra line.
He's got Lyme. We're
That's all you
disinfecting
need.
everything.
That's all you need.
We're going to talk about coronavirus in the sense of, kind of like how it's affecting us, what's happening in Central Florida, kind of just a different take on, what's going on, here in particular with it. And then, of course, then we'll be getting into our Clone Wars takeaways, where we'll be briefly talking about episode 4, and then we'll be going into news.
So yeah, with my experience with this whole situation of the coronavirus, I had trips lined up for end of April to New York, and even though it's a long time from now, we were saying that parts of New York was being quarantined, and they had the National Guard over there, quarantining areas, and the numbers were rising. So we just couldn't take that risk, and we, JetBlue was saying that we can refund you the whole money, all your money, to use it at a different time of year.
That's
it's like
good.
credit.
So you didn't
it's
lose
like credit.
it.
I didn't lose it.
That's
I didn't get
awesome.
it back, but it was like credit, and also a hotel I booked in Groupon, they refunded my money, and I'm still trying to get with our Airbnb too.
I feel like we're in that round table meeting with Captain America, and we're talking about like what happened after the snap.
Oh yeah,
and like we're
that's
not
what
even past the
we're not-
virus yet.
We haven't even passed that.
Yeah. Yeah, like things that are affecting me on day to day, like especially for my job today in particular. I went to a hospital and I went to 2 nursing homes where I had to do the service that I do for my company, and I couldn't go into the back door like usual where vendors would go in. They made me go through the front door. They had a sign up that said, all vendors, blah blah blah. You have to go through the front door. So I go through the front door, and I'll just tell the hospital one. The hospital actually took a nasal sample. So they stuck a Q-tip up my
Test you
nose
for COVID-19.
Literally.
Wow.
Now they weren't able to tell
uncomfortable.
me like there on the spot. I believe it was just for flu.
But they took your ID.
They took my driver's license. They took all that information down, took my phone number. Then they took my temperature too. And then they made me sign a legit affidavit that I had to print, sign, date, and then check all the yeses and no's. I don't know. I tried to make a lighthearted joke with the nurse. I was like, so this was a free flu test, right? Like, you're going to call me if I got the flu?
Too soon.
Dude, she just looked at me, and I was like, dude, come on. I mean, if you can't, you got to have some
sense of
humor.
humor,
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta,
but hand sanitizer, I hate hand sanitizer.
It doesn't
makes
even
my
work.
hands
Dude,
feel sticky.
Yes, and dry. My
Everybody's
hands,
saying hand and soap is the best way to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
If you can find it.
Have good hygiene.
Yeah.
Just honest.
So something in my life before I get into the con stuff. So I work at the Turnpike headquarters. I'm sure these listeners have heard me talk about my real job.
Your boring job.
My boring job. My real job. And
DOT.
DOT, Department of Transportation. We jokingly call ourselves District 7. So there's 6 districts in the state of Florida. Turnpike is District 7. Anyway, they are so against working from home. They've always been like that. It's kind of like a state government thing. You will come into the office. You will do your work here. They're so against working remotely. So something that has changed that culture, and it is a culture at the DOT. Starting Monday, all DOT, including consultants in the building, will work from home. About blew my mind.
Jeez.
They're taking it serious.
That is going to completely change the culture of the entire DOT. I mean, it's not something that is taken lightly. I'm sure they hearkened on that decision for a long time.
Did they give you like an ETA?
No.
It's
they
just
didn't.
until
This
further
happened
notice.
after Disney shut down?
This
or-
happened like literally at 4:30.
They told you.
Yeah. Well,
Today.
I didn't even hear it. I heard about it from another coworker, and then an email was sent out at like 5:45, and I was already home by that point. So, but yeah, it's crazy. So then, going into the con stuff, Megacon is like the only. I was jokingly because I was texting Roberto and Connor this morning, you guys this morning, about how like everything is canceled, like NHL, MLB,
Did they
NBA.
confirm NHL?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
Yeah, they
NHL.
confirmed.
Everything. The March Madness stuff not happening. Like
Yeah.
it's absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The only thing that is not canceled, Megacon Orlando, and they just posted something on their Facebook talking about it. Thank you for your client. Thank you to our clients, service partners, and employees for their support and patience during this time. We are working closely with Orange County government, all that stuff, Florida Department of Health, and partner agencies to monitor this rapidly evolving situation. So they're not saying yes or no. They're
I know.
just
I
saying,
still think that's crazy. And there has already been other Orange County convention events
right.
that have been canceled, but not Megacon.
And what do you? I mean,
How are they getting away with that? I thought
over
that's just
100,000 people go. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
The only thing that I'm thinking is because it's mid-April, they're waiting to see. Because all these people that are closing, all these businesses and all these establishments that are closing are going through the end of March, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be reopening in April.
I would imagine in a
Yeah.
couple weeks we'll hear more.
that would make sense to a certain degree.
There's probably this is Florida's premier con. There's so much money riding on this. I think of somebody like Jack. Like, is this money that Jack is possibly counting on, and it could get canceled. I feel bad for vendors. This could be like a big time of year for a lot of these vendors.
Well,
that
I
go to
would
these cons.
imagine.
I don't know the company behind Megacon, but I would imagine
It's Fan Expo.
Fan Expo, and they have another convention, I think, in California or Vegas or something that's coming up in 2 weeks. And as far as I remember hearing, not canceled yet. So
Yeah.
I think that if they do cancel these shows, first of all, they have to postpone it, because I think if they literally don't have a show, the company would go bankrupt. I mean, how would they get their money, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll wait and see how.
Will their celebrities even show up? Like the guest starring?
That's another thing, Roberto. I don't know.
I haven't seen any cancellations for the guests for Megacon. People were making jokes in the comments, like, I'll go no matter what. I've been wanting to meet Brandon Fraser since I was 16 years old, like all this stuff. Brandon Fraser's not worth the coronavirus, just saying. But yeah, I requested a refund because their policy was 14 days prior to the event, so should be getting my money back.
So this is another thing they just posted, like, let's see, 5 hours ago. There are many factors we are considering given the show is still 4 weeks away. Major Orlando attractions are scheduled to reopen at the end of the month. Any decision will impact everyone involved significantly, so rest assured we are working to find a solution for the best possible outcome. So basically what we just said. They're waiting to see how it all turns out.
And this just isn't in Orlando, I mean, there's probably cons and everything. I saw a post about, how this will affect, because we're going into con season, like in general, like across the United States. And even for me, CEO 2020, which is a fighting game tournament that I go to every year, that's in June.
Right.
They're already like predicting, this is going to have effect on everybody, an effect on the economy. There's a local fighting game tournament that's happening this weekend, and the event organizer, for the first time in 11 years as an event organizer, actually had to do kind of like a GoFundMe thing because there were so many cancellations.
I'm wondering if Megacon or the company behind Megacon will do a GoFundMe. Hey, by the way, if you want to have a Megacon next year, we're going to need some money.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they give me back my money. That'd be good. But it's crazy. Wash your hands, people. And don't cough and don't touch people. Do the Wakanda salute. That's what
Wakanda forever.
That is what Disney is encouraging us to do.
This is the way.
Or this is the way.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Universal closed.
SeaWorld.
Dude, all the theme parks are closed. It's
as
crazy.
Soon as Disney went and shut down, everybody else followed suit.
I do have some nerd stuff related to the coronavirus, but I'll share that, or I'll save that for the news segment at the end of the show.
Okay. We will go into our Clone War takeaway. So spoiler warning, of course, for Clone Wars. We will be talking about episode 4. I will do the brief synopsis, and then we'll talk about the episode as a whole. So Mace Windu and General Skywalker and Kenobi, along with Rex, talk war strategy. Echo gives his plan to the group. The plan consists of 2 groups, one on the planet and one off planet. Rex, Skywalker, and Clone Force 99 take to the off planet. Echo cloaks the ship with a new code, making it look like a Separatist ship. Windu, along with Kenobi, attack the Separatist. It actually wasn't a Separatist. It was a clone facility, and then the Separatists took it over. Yep. They try to get it back on the surface. That was the point. Anyway, Trench, the Separatist leader, calls for a strategy that they used to use. I know, the little spider dude. Is that why? That's why you hate him. He's like a tarantula.
I hate the spiders.
He is a tarantula.
Yeah, he's like a tarantula.
And he keeps coming back. Like, you can't kill him.
Yeah, no. He's a spider.
I know.
You step on a spider, it crawls away. It's coming for you when you're sleeping.
Its legs curl up and then it runs
That's
away.
That's where he comes back.
Yeah, right.
There's no coming back there.
Mace Windu and Obi-Wan jump down and confront the droid army. Mace Windu gives a very funny speech to the droids. Clone forces arrive to aid Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Echo's plan is to get all the droid forces together for him to turn an overload and disable all the droids. Echo's plan is successful, and they turn Mace Windu and Obi-Wan successfully take over the assembly complex. A bomb is hidden in the assembly complex, big enough to wipe out half the planet.
A bomba.
Mace Windu, with the help of Echo, rushes to help disable the bomb. Echo gives him the code to decode the bomb and is stopped short by the Separatist. Thankfully, with Anakin's quick thinking and his backup plan, he is able to use aggressive negotiations.
Yeah.
Right?
Negotiations?
Yeah, negotiations.
Aggressive.
To get the last digit to deactivate the bomb. Trench attacks Anakin, and in return, Anakin kills him. Clone Force 99 make their way off the ship, blasting their way through battalions of droids. Skywalker lets Wrecker blow up the blockade of Separatist ships, and Echo decides to leave with Clone Force 99.
Pretty good synopsis. I mean, that's one thing with that show is like so much happened in that episode.
But it
felt long.
Yeah, this was the most
did.
that happened in all. This is my favorite by far.
Right.
Because like I was not a Echo fan like at all, and he won it. He stole the show.
Well, it's almost like Echo Echo O. Wait, who's that? Like
Yeah.
I don't even remember who
Yeah, I
he
know.
was. Like
Yeah,
I
I
had to
didn't
go
either.
back and rewatch it.
Well, if it wasn't for the picture that Rex showed, I probably would have never remembered.
Right. So I know the last time we talked about was probably episode 1. I think the last time that we talked about how Windu was kind of robotic.
Yeah,
It wasn't
we
the best
didn't think
voice
that. Yeah,
acting.
the voice was different.
Yeah, so I immediately paused it and talked to you. I'm like,
Yeah,
he did a great job. I think
Yeah.
he did whoever the voice actor. I really need to do the research on it.
You think he did better?
He did a much better job in this episode.
For sure. I feel like he was more towards the episode 3 type of animation too.
Yeah, and then his whole speech to the droids.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
that was great.
Yeah.
he was pleading to their humanity.
So you were saying because he was pleading them because they haven't had their memories wiped, so they
Right.
built personalities.
Yeah,
what you're
that's
saying,
what
Connor?
I was thinking. Yeah,
That's a really good theory. I like that.
Well,
Because
that's
I mean, we
R2.
even saw that like in the hallway when Wrecker was about
Yeah.
to break him. He's like, "No, not my face."
Yeah.
I mean, it's a droid.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, R2 built such a huge personality because they never wiped his
Right.
memory.
Yeah, then there's that's in season 1 of Clone Wars when they lose R2. It's like
Yep.
this whole big deal because Anakin had never had his data wiped. So if the Separatists were to get him, they would have all their battle plans. So
They always say that's a thing in the Star Wars galaxy, but if you remember in Rise of the Skywalker when they wiped C-3PO's memory, he was still funny. He's like, "Oh, what's the little guy's name? Watto or
Babu Frick.
Bobby Frick?" He's like, "Oh, he's my oldest friend."
Yeah. Dude, have you guys? I think
Yes,
I showed
the TikTok video.
Oh God, that girl kills me, dude. I swear, if I'm
We're gonna
like,
have her as a guest.
Yeah, I wish. I'll message her, dude. But that I'm like having a bad day. I'll pull up that video, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Which video is this?
this is random girl on TikTok. She like figures out like, oh my, she can sound exactly like Babu
Oh,
Frick.
you have to. Oh, I've seen.
And she's
that.
like
That's-
laughing
and
because she
she's
knows she
dying.
sounds so good.
It's
She's
so
just-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
That
I
junk
saw
is
that.
hilarious.
I think what I'm gonna do is splice a little bit of that audio clip in the middle of this so
Dude,
people know what we're talking
put that
about.
put that on a lightsaber.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Oh my gosh.
when it clashes, hey, or something. I don't know. That'd
My
be-
next custom build would be a Babu
That'll
Frick.
Yeah,
sell
Babu
out
Frick
so
lightsaber.
fast.
That'd be funny.
So one thing we were talking about too is the relationship between Windu and Anakin, because again, in like a few short months from now, right, Revenge of the Sith takes place, and you know the relationship there. Like I always remember, like when Windu and Anakin were walking up to the transport right before he was going to go, confront Palpatine, and he's like, "No, stay here. You know, if what you have told me is true, then you will have gained my trust and all this stuff." I liked the little subtleties that they had in this episode because I feel like they're building upon that almost because Obi-Wan is the one that joins Windu down on the planet. The only communication really that Windu and Anakin have are over the comms.
Yeah.
And even, and Anakin's very proper Master Windu. It's like a working relationship, but they don't really have a personal relationship.
Yeah, I noticed that in the beginning of the season. That like they feel very far apart compared to the other episodes.
Yeah.
And even when Obi-Wan found out that, or nodded about, oh yeah, let Padme know that I said hi or whatever. You could tell like Anakin just doesn't like at
Jedi.
all. Well, no, he just didn't like that he was joking, period. And he used to be like that joking personality. They were always, so close.
I have to make a correction because I was saying that I really thought that this was overlapping with Revenge of the Sith already, because in the last episode you could tell that Padme was pregnant. Like we as the audience could literally tell she was pregnant and she's holding her stomach. Anakin has still not gotten it because I remembered back Anakin doesn't come back until the sieges of the Outer Rim. And that's why she meets him in public in the
Correct.
beginning of Revenge of the Sith, because she's like, "Oh, I heard all the rumors that you had died. You guys were losing all the, the war and all this stuff."
Right.
And then he comes back. I had thought that that had already happened because in that last episode, dude, like Anakin, I know it's a holo vid, but dude, she's pregnant, man.
Yeah,
like,
but in
do I
episode
need to
3,
give
she
you the
was-
talk, bro? Like the birds in the like, you should know.
He's got a lot going on.
Apparently.
Connor.
Well,
He
I
can't-
mean, if you remember episode 3, her belly was way bigger. Than
oh yeah.
What, like in the movie?
in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to the
So-
episode related as.
So based on Padme's belly, how many months do you think we are before Revenge of the Sith?
We got to call Whitney in. We got to get a
what-
trimester breakdown.
What, like 2 months?
Really? That's
3
it?
months?
Because I mean, she really had barely any bump in the hollow, and then in Revenge
No,
of the
but you
Sith,
could
she's
see
like
that there was
popping.
a little bump. You know, it was.
I'm thinking like 6 months, bro, based on the bump.
Well, I'm no expert. You're the one who had.
I
Just
recently just had a little Jaina.
yeah.
so.
Another thing that I really liked about this episode is the episode like didn't stop. One thing, I think we skipped the intro when we all watched it together, but when I watched it by myself, one thing that the narrator says is he even alludes to not knowing the intentions of Echo. So even going into the episode with the narrator telling you don't know which side Echo's going to land on.
I love that.
Yeah, like I thought that was a neat
Yeah, they
little
left
thing.
me guessing the whole episode
Yeah.
until the end.
Yeah, and then when Echo was like hooking up to the power signal or whatever
thought
to
that was
send
gonna
the
be
signal, he was going to send the signal and let Trench and the troops know where they were going to be. And then Tech had to stop him like, whoa. If you do that, then they're going to know exactly where. At that point, I was like, oh, he's trying to entrap them.
Yeah, I felt
like,
the same way. Yeah.
So that was a
So
really
did you think
cool
that was on
story
purpose?
arc. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it on the first viewing, but on the second viewing, I'm like, that's a really good story arc.
So
They
then,
really did good close.
But then that means he would have to at some point decide, oh, you know what, then I'll just take my chances with the clones. You see what I'm saying?
No, I mean, I think that Dave Filoni did it on purpose.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
I don't think Echo's bad.
Yeah, I gotcha.
They were trying to kind of give you a false.
They were misleading
reading.
you.
They were misleading you.
That helps with Tech too. Like that gives more credence to Tech. Like it makes Tech shows you how
because
smart Tech is.
He was
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
the way we were thinking. Like,
Yeah.
watch out for him.
Yeah,
right.
And the way that last episode ended with him was just that look that the Echo gave.
and the music.
Yeah.
yeah,
was
the
very
music
ominous.
behind him. Yeah, exactly. I liked that. Echo really stole the show up until Crosshair stole the show
Oh goodness. Yeah.
at the end. But
What
I
are those things? And can we please have them in Battlefront 2?
I know those things were so sick, but I did like that Echo like came with a plan. Mace Windu was like, if he has a plan, I want to hear it. He gives the plan, and it actually worked. You had mentioned something, Russell, about how his plan took place, how he disabled all the droids. What was the thing that he used?
Oh, it was the pulse, right?
Yeah, but what was it? What that made the server?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I have that written down. So when they said the server overloaded to, shock Echo, so they could, because
It's like drawing-
They found out where it was
Trench
coming from.
and the
EMP.
droids knew where they were going, where they were, so they overloaded the server. And I was thinking, again, I haven't had time to like look into it. Pretty sure that's the first time server has ever been used in Star Wars.
I've never heard it. I don't think I've
I
heard
think
it.
so too. I think that's the first time.
So new term, guys.
Yeah, new term.
It's canon.
And Tech wearing glasses. He's now the second person we've seen in Star Wars wear glasses.
Who's the first? Oh, the
Doctor
Doctor
from Mandalorian.
Clone Wars,
Mhm.
or not Clone Wars?
You know what? There might be another one.
Yeah, the doctor for that virus he created in Naboo in the Clone Wars. He wears these.
Doctor.
The Doctor.
Yeah,
who
he
are you
is.
talking about?
It was a Clone Wars episode where Padme and Ahsoka they find this secret.
Is he wearing goggles or actually glasses?
Well, they're goggles, but they're also his breathing. Like they're not just a form of protection. That's the scientist thing. Like,
I don't know though,
So-
but Tech is wearing straight up glasses.
It's straight up
Tech-
glasses.
well,
Yeah.
if you want to go straight up glasses, Tech and yeah,
How do we
the
not
Doctor.
have LASIK in Star Wars?
That's what my point is. Like,
Come
when
on.
in Star Wars, the technology is so advanced. Do you really need them?
Listen,
Or are you
it's
just trying to make a statement that you are a nerd?
exactly. It's a hipster thing. He's Clone Force 99.
Like,
Exactly.
oh, I saw this once
He's not
on an
one of the
Earth
regs.
on an Earth podcast or video. I'm on a YouTube video, so I'm gonna wear this because I'm trying to start a fad.
It's what's in the outer rim.
Yeah.
So he's trying to bring it to the core planets.
Maybe that's what it is.
He's just got a statement to
The
make.
core planets
you know?
are rich, the rim planets aren't, so they got to have glasses.
One thing that we had talked about was kind of like arcs for this season 7. If we're gonna have 12 episodes, we've now had 4 episodes with Bad Batch. That would lead us to believe that we're gonna have 2 more arcs, both of which are 4 episodes. Hopefully, the last arc ties everything together.
Totally.
It has to with the Ahsoka book for
Yeah,
sure.
it has
man,
to.
I want to, and that's the question that brought up. If what's My brain is.
Well,
What's the Bad Batch? There we go. If Bad Batch, if this is the last we're going to see of them until maybe the end, last episode.
Yeah, they got to come back.
They have to come back, but
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see them for a while.
And we never see them again after.
during episode 3 period.
Yeah.
Or even
Well,
after
no.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the point is Rax and whoever he's with, we know at some point they're going to take the chips out of their head.
Yeah.
They haven't done that yet. Fives was never able to tell them, right? They basically killed him before
Do you
it
think
got
we'll
out.
see that on the show?
Oh, we better see it on
We
the show.
have to
we have
because
to.
they talk about it in Rebels. Like they got
So how close we've gone, and we've almost have like an intimate relationship with Bad Batch, right? We know them so well now. Are they going to be able to get their chips taken out? And if
My
they're not
question
with
is,
Rax,
they
they're not going to do it.
if they even have them because they are the Bad Batch.
That's
so
a good point. Maybe
So-
they didn't have chips.
Some of those guys don't even look like clones.
They don't.
Has that even been established that they are or aren't clones?
But do they have chips?
Because Wrecker
They
looks
do.
like a clone.
They do, but
No,
they just said they're just like
clones.
mixed.
Well, they're not mixed. They're messed up.
No, they
It's
got
a
to be
Bad
mixed
Batch.
with something.
Like Crosshair doesn't even. Neither does Tech.
What are they
Tech and
mixed with?
Crosshair they don't even look like.
Snake.
Yeah, actually, Hunter probably had the least role in this entire episode.
Yeah. I almost forgot he was there.
Yeah, right. Like he didn't do anything because Rex and Anakin kind of took the lead, and then the whole other part was Obi-Wan and Mace. And what was Obi-Wan's battalion called again?
That 212.
212th, our yellow dudes with Cody.
they're
Where was
called
Cody? Is Cody
212
still
Attack
hurt?
Battalion.
We don't hear anything about Cody after that
you're
first
right.
mission.
He's probably healing up for when he turns against Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's got to be there.
Good guy, that
It's like,
Cody.
here's your lightsaber.
Good
now I'm
man,
gonna
that
shoot
Kobe.
you.
If we really think about it, him turning on Obi-Wan is just him going like, yeah, point that direction and fire.
It was so emotionless, man. I was just like,
Well,
God.
think about it. The clones have just been overridden, so they're not.
But then I've
processing
heard
everything.
stories, and again, I don't know if this is canon, because again, I can't. Sometimes I can't differentiate what's canon and what's not, because my brain.
It's all a blur.
Yeah, the memories kind of overlap. I'm like, wait, when did I learn this little piece of
Yeah, exactly.
information? But a lot of the clones went nuts after they killed their Jedi generals. Like they literally went mad. I think this was talked about in either Clone Wars or Rebels. Oh, Rebels, when Ahsoka or Ezra and Kanan finally met old Rax.
Rex.
Rex. Why do I keep saying Rax?
Rax is from Aftermath.
Right, Rex. Sorry. When they were in that walker, right? They were like living in a
Old clone
Yeah,
walker. Yeah.
Clone Wars era walker.
I can't remember what that's called, but anyway. Fishing for giant tremors.
Yeah,
Literally.
Yes, that's what they were. Exactly.
Trying to eat them.
gonna have to watch that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's where we learned that a lot of the clones like literally drove themselves nuts after they realized what they had done. Did Cody drive himself nuts? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, you kind of see Rex adopting mentalities of Anakin because they spend so much time together.
Mm-hmm.
He's become reckless. He's going based on emotion. He's
Right.
not thinking straight. It's kind of like how the whole, even in episode 2, episode 2, when they were going to that establishment to save Echo, one of Clone Force 99 was like, you got to take your emotion out of this. Like, he's probably dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like such an Anakin thing. So Obi-Wan and Cody are probably so like tactical, and emotionless isn't the best word because obviously Obi-Wan's not emotionless, but very tactician. Like, that's the best
He's
way.
very
I can-
black and white.
Yeah,
about
thank
things.
you. Yeah, that's a way better way to put it.
They're very good at being Vulcans.
Yeah, exactly. Crosshair. Okay.
Oh man,
Throw in the magnetic.
mirrors or whatever.
Like the
they are.
droid said, sticky.
It reminded me of, remember in The Mummy when what's her name, Rachel Weisz goes down into the tomb and she like angles the mirror and she's like, and then Brendan Fraser's like, what are you doing? She's like, it's an old Egyptian trick, and then she like gets the light to reflect and it like lights up the whole tomb.
The whole the whole thing.
That's what
Such
I
a
was thinking
throwback,
of. Yeah, that's what well, we just watched The Mummy. It's a great movie.
It's
I
a
know,
great movie. I have all three of them.
I have all the horses. Hey, Vinny, at least what does he say?
Oh man.
At least you're not. I'm not on the wrong side of the
I'm on
river.
wrong side of the river.
Yeah, man. I was just talking about Brendan Fraser too. Yeah, I need to watch that movie again.
If
I do like that
Megacon
movie.
is not canceled, Brendan Fraser will be
I
there.
know. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
And Rachel Weisz. Yeah, right.
But,
I wish.
Yeah, so he throws all those magnetic things on the wall.
And they're mirrors, right?
Yeah, something like that.
He literally places those mirrors in the perfect, precise area, and the things just like reflect.
You had mentioned something you said that are they magnets?
Well, they have to be more than magnetic.
Because the droid said sticky.
Well, it's the sticky magnet mirror, right? Because it makes the... Well, again, the first time I watched it, it looked like maybe it turned the blaster bolt into something magnetic because it was reflecting off of the bulkheads.
Well, you know why that's their Star Wars canon that goes with that.
Right, the trash compactor.
Yeah. It's magnetically sealed.
I already tried that. You're going to kill us.
Yeah.
So it's just a piece of that.
That like technology.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense. That makes I don't know.
So it's a trash compactor callback?
Yes. Well, that I don't know. I'm just when you said magnet, that was the first thing that I thought of.
More is just like it's the technology, same type.
Yeah, it helps explain
material.
how the laser
whatever
bolt is.
it was, I was awestruck, and so was
it was cool.
Yeah,
and so was Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is Wreck-It Ralph for sure.
I'm gonna be honest, I love his character. He's
This is the best day
He's
of
like
my
the toughest
life.
guy, and he's afraid of heights.
Yeah.
He's like, do I get to blow up stuff? He's like, no, it's gonna be completely. What was it? What kind of mission was gonna be?
It was supposed to be a stealth mission, and it
He's
wasn't.
like, I hate that word.
Yeah.
Every time I see Anakin reacting and interacting with people, and they have such a personal connection, like he does with Wrecker. Like, where does that go? Like, do you think Darth Vader thinks back, oh man, remember when I let Wrecker blow up that ship? Like,
Yeah, I know, right?
it was such a personal moment. Like, this is the best
No,
day
I
of
don't
my
think so
life.
because he's always going back and forth about how he could have saved Padme.
Well, yeah, it's all about Padme.
It's
but-
always all
yeah,
about
he's
Padme.
also said, he's probably repressed a lot of those memories, because he always says
Correct.
he's killed Anakin Skywalker. He was weak, all that kind of stuff.
So those little things would have not come to mind, not by choice.
right.
So as a whole, with the Clone Wars on where we're at, with that episode, we've had 4 episodes with Bad Batch now. Has your opinion on who your favorite Bad Batch clone is?
Changed. Or have I given one?
Yeah, well, yeah. I think you said originally that Tech was your favorite.
I think I said Snake.
I know you like
Hunter.
I know you like Echo's armor.
I do like Echo's new armor. That
so
was
cool.
that was
So you can
super
do a
slick.
cosplay, Echo.
I
Or-
still think I'd pick Tech.
Tech,
No, I
yeah.
want Tech. Yeah,
No,
Tech is
way
still my
more-
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Crosshair, but I don't like Crosshair's bucket. It has like this weird like slope in the front that I'm not like a big fan of.
Like a bird almost kind of thing.
Yeah,
going.
I like Wrecker's helmet. How he has that big steel plate across the top. It's almost like some bulletproof plating. And I also like how in this episode
He's like the juggernaut.
Exactly. Yeah, he was like wearing it on top of his head, and then he like slung his head forward, and his helmet
comes
came
down.
down like
That
that.
was-
His bucket came down. That was sick.
Yeah.
But
And he's funny.
Tech is still my favorite. Is anybody else? What was your favorite? Now that we've had 4 episodes.
I don't know. I think Hunter is still my favorite. I do like Tech. I do like Wreck-It Ralph.
I mean, I like all of them for sure.
I do.
But
I
Tech,
think it's
Tech
great.
steals the show for me. I really like Tech.
And I'm kind of bummed that I'm probably not going to see him for a few episodes.
I'm totally into Wrecker, and I love the relationship he has with all the other, like his interactions with all of them. He's always picking on them, and then he's just funny overall.
I like the relationship between Wrecker and Anakin.
Yeah, that.
Not
They're like
just
besties,
not
aren't
just
they?
blowing up the ship, but at the beginning he's like, "Are we gonna blow anything up?" He's like, "Nah, it's strictly stealth, Wrecker."
Well, because
He's like,
Anakin feels the same way.
"Oh."
Anakin's always been the type to
Yeah.
just go do it and blow whatever else that's in his way. So
All right.
Now that we've had these episodes of Bad Batch, and we could see them again next episode, but it did seem like they were leaving, right? They were walking towards the ship. Echo goes with them, so we probably won't see him for a little bit.
I don't want to theorize too much, but here we are in episode 4.
Yep.
No Ahsoka.
Yeah, and that was before we go into where we think the show's gonna go.
Right.
Like, what more do you want from Bad Batch? Like, would you want a comic book series?
Oh,
Do you
man,
want a
totally.
book? Do you want?
I want
I want it all.
We were saying, Roberto, we want a Clone Force 99 Bad Batch patch in Battlefront
Totally
2.
should be like a reinforcement ability, or
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I think give it all to us.
Definitely comic books, because that's one thing that I've been saying for a while is like I really want like a Death Trooper thing.
I want an origin story in audible form.
Yeah,
That
for
would be
sure.
cool.
With
I'll
full
take that.
sound effects, same voice actors.
Like they did with like that Dooku book.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that was more of like a voice audio play.
So-
I enjoyed that.
Is that Duke Jedi Lost, Jedi Gained, or something like that?
I can't remember.
Dooku.
So if we do have to speculate now that we've had these 4 episodes with Bad Batch, like you said, Russell, no Ahsoka yet.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's possible that the Bad Batch will have something to do with Ahsoka. Like maybe in whatever mission.
Maybe they assist her on Mandalore.
Oh man, that'd be so awesome.
That's
That
our
would
main
be sick.
focus,
I just-
right?
That's where she's supposed to be.
Tearjerker if one of them dies, or all of them sacrifice themselves.
Dude, there's no way
during
we
the
make it.
siege
Yeah.
of Mandalore.
No, they're not gonna.
Yeah, there's no way we make it out of this without losing one of them.
Yeah.
There's just
or
no
all
way.
of them.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe that's
again,
their-
if
They're so tight knit, like they'll like go after each other, even if it
I
means
just
killing
don't
themselves.
see them. There's no part of me that sees them turning against the Jedi.
Yeah.
So they have to either die or
Tech would have
go
figured
into
out
the
that they
unknown
have
regions.
chips. Tech would have figured out that they have chips.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd like to think so.
Absolutely.
I could be wrong, but I'd like to think that he would have figured out that they have chips. So I like to think that
He's
they
always constantly doing research and scans and everything. So
Exactly.
it's
Yeah. I like to think that they will have more of a role to play towards the end of the season, but you never know.
I don't know. Before we go in with the theories about the future of this show, I don't know when you wanted to talk about Anakin's personalities and anger issues.
Go ahead.
So
Totally.
I like the way they show him. He was so angry. If they just put the red eyes on him, he looked like just like Anakin from Mustafar.
Yeah.
Like how angry he was killing everybody. But he was super angry. And then when the Admiral, what's his name? Trench. Yeah. He was like, oh, you know, he's like, Anakin's threatening for the codes
Yeah.
to disarm the bomb. And he's like, Anakin's threatening to hurt him.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not the Jedi way, you know, that kind of thing. And
Yeah, he's like, you won't do that. You're a Jedi.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
totally not like, he pretty much says he's not like them, you know, he'll do what
Right.
he has to. And you could see he's distancing himself like from the Jedi Order just by saying that.
Yeah.
Like he's completely like, he doesn't see himself in the same way as the Jedi are, you know. So you can see that the shadow of Vader is really reflects on that scene.
How close we're getting to Revenge of the Sith. That seems like a question we continue to ask every single week. Like, you know, are we 2 months? Are we 3 months? Are we 4 months? We want to know because we probably really want to see Order 66.
Oh, we
and
do, for
we
sure.
want to see Ahsoka and little Kanan Jarrus. Dune.
Oh.
Yeah, his real name is escaping me, of course. Doom.
Caleb
Doom.
Doom.
Caleb Doom. Yeah.
Is it Doom or Dune?
I thought it was Doom.
It's pretty. Not,
it Dune?
That's not a very Jedi name. Doom.
I think it is Doom.
Darth
Yeah, you're right.
Doom. Oh man, has there ever been a Darth Doom?
You know that Darth Vader was almost Darth Smith.
I don't think so. What?
That is a fact.
That
Yes.
would have made Star Wars so
That would have
stupid.
just straight up destroyed
Also,
it.
brace
Star Wars was
yourself.
always like skirting the line on being dumb.
It
you
gets
know,
worse.
Yeah.
They just stayed off.
It gets worse.
Worse than the specials with the Ewoks.
Darth Wilson.
Oh no!
I kid you not. That's true. It's 10,000% true. Dude, look it up.
Where did you get this from? I have never heard
It's
of that.
in a George Lucas autobiography.
Tom Hanks autobiography.
No. Thankfully, George
guy.
Did you
Yeah,
Lucas.
see that
corona
he's
right now.
so he's him and his wife have tested positive for coronavirus.
I know that's news. We'll talk about that in
No,
news.
I just want to talk.
Oh,
We're
okay.
talking about Wilson.
Uh-huh.
So he was in. This is how awesome Australians are. So my sister's good friend Sati, shout out, is a nurse, literally taking care of Tom Hanks right now. She's in the ward that all the coronavirus patients are in.
Oh jeez, no
They
pressure.
all basically teamed up, got a soccer ball, got a red hand, and painted it, and said, "Wilson heard you were sick."
Oh man.
So he took a picture of Instagram with Wilson.
I wonder how many of those Wilsons does he have in his house?
Oh,
that have
man,
been
so
gifted to
many.
him?
I'd
He
like to
can't-
think he has the original.
Did you
Like
think,
the original prop or something, you know? God, that is such a
did
good
you
movie.
think when he got the coronavirus, he was like, "Life is like a box of chocolate"?
You never know what you're gonna get.
Hey,
It's like-
you know?
Someone sneezed all over those chocolates.
Yeah, pretty much. But Clone Wars, you know, this episode definitely had the most going on. I feel like, you know, for the all four. I think that this will be a good way to end with Bad Batch if we don't get any more of them.
Yeah. No, I just have a bad feeling that they're all going to die and that they're going to somehow play into the whole Chip storyline and Ahsoka storyline. Like somehow they're going to be the stepping block to
be
that
honest,
whole thing.
I mean, Dave Filoni, he didn't. He hasn't let us down.
He's
So,
a master
yeah,
storyteller.
he will somehow find a way.
It's my thing.
Finding your stride.
I do find that.
He is. You know, I mean, I appreciated it, but, you know, these episodes, like, we feel like a lot's going on, but they are short, so it's probably...
There's one thing I forgot to talk about.
Tell me.
Mace Windu's speech.
Who's
I didn't
Mace
Yeah,
just...
Windu?
we glossed over it.
Mace Windu.
Yeah, let's
Thank
talk
you.
about it.
Master Window. So when he's like trying to reach the humanity of all these droids, he's like laying it down.
Dude,
he's
he was
like
giving it
I
over
have
100
dismantled over 100,000
100,000
of you guys. Drop your weapons and none of you will be harmed. All that does for me is make the Tartakovsky animated Clone Wars series, which we have to watch after this podcast.
Yes.
Canon in my mind, because there's an episode where he's just like he loses his lightsaber at one point and there's like
He's just punching
B2
right through
battle
that.
droids and he's just like da, 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 like using the force and like punching
He's
through.
got that Ip Man moves going.
Oh man, it was
I like how
so
he just
awesome.
singled out the B1s though. Like he didn't try to say anything to
telling you,
the
it's a nod.
SB2
It's a
battle
nod to
droids
that.
or anything, right? Like he's, you know,
Well, you can't talk to those.
I guess not.
Do they even have voices? Oh, they do. They're like, hello.
Yeah,
yo,
they
man.
do. Yeah, remember in Revenge of the Sith, they pick up R2 and they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you
Can they
stupid
change
ass
that?
Stupid
droid.
little
Can they
droid.
Change those sounds because those B2s don't sound the same in the Clone Wars as they do.
They
Episode
need to
3.
sound more menacing for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's as good a time as any to go into news. So, we talked a little bit about Corona. Unfortunately, everybody's going through it. Some worse than others. Unfortunately, somebody that I know personally, Chris Tillett,
Yeah.
him and his family are going through it. He traveled to San Diego for business and went back home up state in New York, and unfortunately contracted the virus. We made a post about it on Facebook.
There's a GoFundMe out there. Go
There
look
is a
it up.
GoFundMe. He is in an induced coma, and it is not good. He is a father to twins.
Yeah, they were born like 4 months ago,
That's so
sad.
3 months ago.
So really hope the Tillett family, we're all thinking, and hopefully we have enough people, you know,
Hopes and
donating.
prayers your way for sure.
Yeah, and also donating some money to the family. But with now they had talked about this last year. Sony pulled away from the E3 platform. Basically that they're a one-man show now, and they're going to have their own presentation, right? Sony didn't need to be a part of E3 anymore, and they're saying that, of course, it's because of Corona, but I also feel like they didn't really know what to do with not with having Sony. Like, I mean, that's half your presence, Microsoft and Sony, right? So E3 2020 got canceled. I'm super bummed because I throw an E3 party at my house every year and have some of the guys over, have some pizza, beers, and wings, and we watch E3. That was really exciting, but no E3 this year. Thanks, Corona.
Is Sony still going to do like a broadcast of some
I don't
sort?
know. I mean, it's if you know, it's so weird to think like all these things that we want to watch and do. It's like you were saying before, Russell, the Tonight Show, they're not doing it with an audience.
Yeah, how does that even work?
And that's how do they, like, I imagine Sony still doing a press conference and there's no live audience. There's no whooping, no hollering, I mean, that's like part of the thing, you know, but
I just want to say before we move on the news and kind of touch on some more lighter subjects. This is something that all of us have never, in my lifetime, obviously I've only been alive for 34 years. I was talking to my dad earlier. He's almost 70. He's never imagined, never seen anything like this before. We are witnessing history. So just take a second.
Let it sink in.
Let it sink in. Look around. Just try to let the weightiness of what's going on, you know, kind of just sit there. Because some serious stuff is going on, you know, and you don't want to let it pass you by, I guess. Is my point in saying that. Anyway, moving on.
lighthearted.
AMC will reduce capacity by 50% in all United States movie theaters. That is huge to me.
Now, is that directly because of the virus?
That is because of the virus. All this stuff that I'm going to be bumping on the bike, that I'm going to be mentioning is because of the virus.
Well, here, we'll bounce off of each other then. So we'll get some good non-virus news. Thankfully, Mandalorian season 2 finished filming before most of this virus nonsense. So that's some good news.
Yeah, it did. It just finished like a week or two ago.
Yep. Thor 4 is to apparently feature Guardians of the Galaxy.
Woohoo. Yeah, I did see that. That was cool.
I'm really excited about that. So, because
makes sense.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
no, like the Thor movie that we're about to get. Yeah, right. Yeah, what did he call them? The Asgardians.
Asgardians.
Yes,
The Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm super excited about that. The ex-Doctor Strange director apparently wants to make a R-rated Star Wars Hoth horror movie.
Yes, I did see this.
This is very real. Not sure that it would ever happen. But
Can it please happen?
I mean, they did
it
Deadpool.
would be intense.
All I remember is playing Shadows of the Empire and running
In
away
the room.
from the Wampas. Because
Yes.
if the Wampas caught you, all
Oh
it
my
took was
goodness.
one hit.
Yeah.
You were done.
They have that deleted scene from Empire where
Yeah.
C-3PO tears the sign off the wall that says "Danger, do not enter." That's a real deleted scene.
Yep.
And then the snowtroopers, they open the door and a big Wampa arm comes out and pulls
him in.
pulls him in.
I wish
and then
that was in
his
it.
other his
That'll
other,
be in the previews for
Yeah.
the R-rated movie.
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that's right. But
So yeah, Disney pauses production for some live-action movies. The list: The Little Mermaid, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Home Alone, which I did not know they were doing a remake of Home Alone.
I think we had talked about that briefly.
But
'cause remember,
I think we were confused on whether it was going to be like a sequel or an actual remake.
All
Yeah,
I know
'cause-
is that you guys were just like, don't make another one.
yeah, because Liz and Justin had that big argument about which of the Home Alones was better because it all depended on which one you saw first because
Oh.
they're so interchangeable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know that I knew that they were talking about it. I didn't know it was greenlit.
Yeah.
So take it back, Disney. We
So-
don't need it.
More, though.
Yeah,
There's
it's all
stuff.
greenlit. So The Last Duel is another one. Nightmare Alley, Peter Pan and Wendy.
Yeah, there's
There's
already
very intrigued on
there's
Peter
a-
Pan and Wendy.
there's a a trailer for that already.
Is
Oh,
it?
I have not
Yeah,
seen
I'll
it.
show it to you. Oh, I don't know if that's the same movie. It's called Wendy, and there's already a trailer.
This is Peter Pan and Wendy.
Okay, so it must be.
It
I mean,
may
they're
not
both
be
got to be.
Peter Pan. I mean,
Yeah, they both got to be Disney.
and then
but,
one last.
Uh huh.
I would assume they're referring to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It literally just says Shrunk.
Yeah,
Is that
I
the
think
remake?
Yeah, they are.
Been talking about
Okay,
that.
so it's
which-
called Shrunk.
Yeah,
I like how Obi-Wan
So
is
thank
not
you,
in there.
coronavirus. You're putting on hold all these great movies.
yeah. Are they though?
I mean,
Are
some
they?
of them are.
Maybe
Peter Pan
it's
and
saving
Wendy.
us.
Unfortunately, more sad news, and then we'll get into some better stuff. But Max von Sydow unfortunately passed
Max
away.
von Sydow.
90 years old. So
I mean, he looked pretty wrecked in Force Awakens, and that was like
I don't know. I thought
5 years ago.
yeah, 85 though. Dude looked pretty good for 85.
No, he looked good in the movie, for sure.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren killed him back then.
Well,
Yeah.
he looked wrecked after Kylo Ren killed him.
But yeah, he unfortunately passed away.
Oh, you've gotten old. Something far worse has happened to you.
Beauty and the Beast
Well done.
That's
prequel
good, right?
series
Yeah, that's good.
is set to come out on Disney Plus. So there's the live action Beauty and the Beast movie, which actually is not that bad. I don't know if you've seen
I've
it.
seen it. It's actually pretty good.
It actually with Emma Watson.
Oh, I love that
Yeah,
movie.
it's good.
I'm a big Emma Watson fan.
Yeah, they're doing a prequel series for Disney Plus. So I'm super excited about that.
Nice.
As long as they get what's his name back for Gaston, I'm all for it. Why can't I think of his name? Anyway, we'll move on because we could think about that forever. Taika Waititi is making a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory series for Netflix.
And
Yeah, that's gonna be a pass for me.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
massive.
no.
Oh, it's
I don't
going to
need
be
it.
a download.
Yeah, well, it's like how many times do we need that story?
If you watch it and you tell me, hey, it's pretty decent, it's entertaining, I'll
It'll
watch
be
it.
on my Plex. You
Yeah.
can get it.
I think we had already I think we talked about that last episode. That's my bad. I didn't take that off my news because now I think I distinctly remember either that or me and Justin had a conversation about like he absolutely hated Johnny Depp as
Yeah, you did. You guys had a conversation.
yeah, we did talk about it, yeah
Willy Wonka.
yeah as Willy Wonka.
Dude, compared to the original, that
The
movie's
original's so good.
The new
Now, did
the
you
Johnny
read the
Depp
book?
version is not good.
Did you read the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? The original book.
No, I don't think I
No,
did.
no.
There's a lot of key differences apparently, and I mean, I'm sure there's Willy Wonka fans out there. I was a big fan of Willy Wonka candy until Nestle bought them and all the recipes changed. But it is what it is. I'm still salty about it. Whatever.
They just added more salt.
That's why
No, they
he's
took it
salty.
away. No. Yeah, they changed all the recipes. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, interesting times we're in. This is going to have an effect on Star Wars. But luckily,
yeah.
all the Last Republic stuff is all written media. So we're not going to get huge halts on productions with that. So that's good.
So the High Republic, let me ask you guys' opinion. Do you want more than just written media?
Oh,
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Give it all. Those lightsabers look sweet.
Yeah, they do. And we get our second Wookiee Jedi.
I'm thinking if the written media is good, it's going to be great, awesome, really good source material for either a live action series
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or a trilogy movie.
They're definitely going to go based off
yeah.
the books. They all have to sync up.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing a young Yoda would be awesome. You know, seeing
He won't be terribly young.
what's
No.
Tenebrous' name. I'm trying to think like what Sith existed during 500 years before.
200 years before Phantom Menace.
Is that what it is? 200 years?
200.
I thought it was like 400.
It's pretty early that's pretty close
Yeah,
to...
it's not very far.
It's not
So
far at all.
Tenebrous then I think would be the Sith Lord during that time period.
We were trying to find this information because there's not a lot of... Obviously, we're like deep Star Wars fans, but...
Because Tenebrous was old, bro.
Yeah, I know, but it gets to a weird point where it's like
hundreds.
I
If
know.
you read the book, he's like over 150 years old or some crap.
it depends on that species. Like even they say in Mandalorian,
Biff.
like some is that what he is, a Biff?
A Biff. And then so Plagueis was like 150 when he died. And then Tenebrous was like 120 when he died. So you're around that time period.
So
Yeah,
that
it
means
could
that
be.
we might get a new Plagueis book.
Oh, God.
Or they could just
The old one
canonize
is
the
so
play.
good.
Yeah, they could just
The old one
canonize
is
that
so
one.
They
good.
shouldn't even change that. It's so
There's
well
not a
done.
lot about that book that that would change what we have already. Oh,
Exactly.
we do have news because Disney had originally announced that they had canceled the Rise of Skywalker book, and then all of a sudden it popped out of nowhere.
I saw that. Is
Yeah.
it available?
It's
And now
coming out.
It's coming out.
Yeah, so they said like the book's not coming out. We
All right.
literally read it in an episode. It was actual news. They're like, "Hey, not getting a book." No, we said you were. And now all of a sudden, the book's coming out, and people have already gotten access because the book's already leaked.
Yeah, Star Wars Theories has
Yeah,
their-
book's already
has their
leaked.
book.
Star Wars series released a lot on that. But okay, so have you guys talked at all about the whole clone thing?
We can talk. No, we haven't talked about the clone thing. I mean,
News. If you didn't already
Spoiler
know,
alert.
Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker was not actually himself. He was a clone.
His essence.
so you're not okay with that?
No.
Why?
It made you believe that it was Palpatine.
But
You
it was
really-
Palpatine.
It made you believe it was Palpatine.
It
It's not
was
Palpatine. It's a
Palpatine.
clone of
I
Palpatine.
mean,
Okay.
it's in Legends.
And I'm
so,
sorry,
I mean,
but you cannot clone Force powers.
Apparently, you can.
That's well, no.
It's all new canon, man.
That's why I have an issue with it.
I
Why don't they just
understand.
clone Jedi?
Dude, that was like a.
But the book explained that the body would fall apart because it couldn't hold the massive power of the Force.
Yeah, that's why he's on the
It's
crane.
never perfect. Even though
I thought he was on the crane because he was
spoiler alert,
dead.
His supposed son, it's in reality a clone of him that survived but
Oh, yeah.
didn't have any Force powers.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why he was like, "You're weak."
So that's
So
actually
Snoke
not.
was a clone.
So that's
Snoke
actually
was a clone, but he was using him as a conduit, and I'm pretty sure that's what that ring is for.
So Snoke was another failed clone of Palpatine.
you realize that. So the book is supposedly says that Rey's dad was a clone that didn't get Force powers.
Right.
That can't be true because then it's not his granddaughter. That's his daughter.
Correct.
Yeah, that can't be right. I gotta watch the videos. The book's gonna
What
come
do you
out. We're
mean?
gonna read it. Well, if it's a clone and it's Palpatine, that's not his son.
It's a young
that's his
Palpatine.
clone.
It's his
so
clone.
it's not his
It's like a
granddaughter.
Django Boba Fett thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
That's-
frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. But book's coming out. I mean, I'll read the book. Of
course.
course.
I'm definitely reading
Yeah.
the
We're
book.
all Star Wars
I
fans.
think I think it'll help because we had some issues with that movie. I still think the sequel trilogy overall is not the strongest, but I think a lot of that stuff with the book and all the context that go around it, we're just getting these snippets. Oh, Palpatine's a clone, slap in the face. Oh, he's not really her granddaughter, it's his daughter, slap in the face. Like all the context around it,
Yeah.
it'll help. Even
Rey's
like
lightsaber isn't a dual wielding
we're hoping
lightsaber.
that the context.
yeah, we're
around
hoping.
it helps.
We're hoping. Hey, listen, we got to be optimistic, right?
Can I ask you this though?
Yes.
Did you mind Exegol being a planet where he was hiding in, or would you? Have
I
still
loved
wanted-
Exegol.
I agree.
Yeah, I like
some people
new
wanted
stuff.
Korriban, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense because people know about that planet.
Yeah, a ton of people
Well,
know
it's
about
more a
Korriban.
band now.
Yeah, more.
Korriban.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
George
Clone-
Lucas
Clone
didn't
Wars.
like Korriban apparently.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
But so in the Jedi book, I can't remember. It came out in 2012.
I haven't read that in a long time.
Well, do you remember the name of the book? I'm drawing a blank on it, but it literally came out the same year that Disney bought Star Wars. So it's kind of up in the... It doesn't say Legends on it.
Uh-huh.
So it's up in the air on whether it's canon or not. And it doesn't really matter because it literally takes place 30,000
Yeah,
years.
it's so early on in the
They don't even
Jedi's
have
life.
lightsabers.
They don't have lightsabers.
They
Swords.
have swords.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't have hyperspace, and all the planets literally is in one solar system. So they can't travel throughout the galaxy. Anyway, I digress. The Ethors or whatever, the floating temples that came down and released all the Force sensitive on Tython, which is the birthplace of the Force sensitives, like the Sith and the Jedi.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is one on Exegol.
Oh,
That
okay.
floating temple on Exegol is one of those Thors, or
It's a nice little Easter egg.
I cannot remember the name of the floating
not little,
planet at
but
this point.
It's a pretty big Easter
But
egg.
yeah, that was like mind blowing to me. I can't remember where I learned
I thought that was a cool addition to like that whole planet is cool. I love it.
Ethor, something like that.
or something.
So yeah, I mean, basically that whole thing, that tie into Exegol and the 30,000 years ago book that I can't remember the title of.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. It just makes me really excited for the new book, and
Super excited.
I just can't wait.
Yeah.
And I have 2 credits right now sitting on Audible. So
Yeah, we were
Cha-ching.
talking about. Yeah, I have a couple too. So
Okay, so we have some news update in regards to Disney pass holders. It was stating that all active Walt Disney World annual passes will be extended for the number of days of the parks are closed. Passes with renewal windows ending during the closure will also receive an extension of time to renew. So if you need to renew and it's within that time period, you will get an extension
Nice.
of that. And for all pass holders participating in the annual pass monthly payment program, your monthly payments will continue as scheduled. Once your payments are completed,
they will.
you will still have the extra days as provided above.
okay, that's
So
good.
you should be able to get this email, and if you're a pass
Disney
holder,
is all
you'll
about
get it.
fairness.
Hey, that's what me
Fairness
and Chris.
getting paid still.
Me and Chris were talking about that the other day, and I was like, they better prorate us. And he was like,
Yeah.
no, they don't do that. And I'm like, you're probably right that they won't prorate you, but if you call and complain, I bet you they'll do something. And didn't even have to complain.
Nope. So,
So they're
if you're a
they're
pass
giving us,
holder
yeah.
and you have an email account, which you should
Totally
link to
for
it,
that.
you will see that notification.
Well, guys, thank you for sitting here and listening to us just blabble about Clone Wars again. Kind of, we really dug like everything out of that episode. I think it
much.
might be better to talk about 2 episodes at once instead of one, because they are like shorter, you know. So you kind of gotta like talk about everything, you know. It's like no one cares about Hunter's foot size, you know. So, well, guys, thank you for listening to us again. It's KonKon, and sitting to my left,
It's Russell Allen
couldn't
coming
resist.
back at ya.
And it's Roberto Carmona. Look me up, Roberto Carmona 1 on Instagram. May the force be with you.